I want to welcome you all to this very special edition of the Daily Stand Up Podcast. Today is actually a very important and significant day. Now, while the team at AgileDad never tries to get directly involved in political views or politics, I do want to bring up that today is Election Day in the United States. So I wanted to give you a little bit of background, and I want to explain to you why Election Day should be and is so important. I would argue it's probably one of the most important holidays. Well, I don't want to call it a holiday, but one of the most important days where we can make a difference. So let's get to it. So, Election Day in the United States, for those of you who don't know, is a cornerstone of our democracy. It represents the fundamental right of citizens to have a choice and a voice in their government. It is the day when millions of Americans head out to the voting polls to choose leaders at all levels, from local offices to all the way to the presidency, helping to shape the direction of the nation for many years to come. This day is not just about individual candidates or political parties, it's about the democratic process itself and the principles of freedom, equality, and representation that this country was built upon and born on. So, the significance of Election Day lies in its role as the ultimate expression of the people's will. Every vote cast is a declaration of one's values, priorities, and hopes for the future. Whether electing a city council member or the President of the United States, Election Day empowers citizens to influence policies that will affect their daily lives, from education to healthcare to economic growth to foreign relations. The opportunity to vote is a right that many people around the world are still fighting for, making Election Day in the United States a celebration of hard won freedoms. I even remember, I want to tell a quick story. I remember in our house one time, there was an election, and there were two candidates. One that my daughter felt a very close connection to, and one that I felt a pretty close connection to. And we both knew that our votes would cancel each other out. But it didn't stop us. It didn't discourage us from going to the polls and voting anyway. Part of the election process that's so special and part of Election Day that's so magical is that it allows your voice to be heard. This is the one and only way that America protects itself and its government and its citizens by giving us the freedom to choose who we feel should appear in office. Now, while things like the Electoral College may be completely confusing to many people, it was designed to help states that are not the same, some of the smaller states, let's put it that way. So, geographically, smaller states have the same voting power as geographically larger states. So, it's still representation, but it's not done by popular vote. And the reason for that, obviously, is if you got a couple of states on board that were extremely large and they all voted for one candidate, it would make it pretty lopsided in the United States if voting went that way. Where if you give representation in the form of electoral votes, you're still getting representation based on the size and constituency of your state, but it's not done by popular vote. It's done by having the citizens choose who they want to represent them as part of an electoral college and having those people, the delegates, vote on their behalf for the candidate that best supports the values of that region of the United States. So I think for me, understanding Election Day, it's a time to foster civic engagement and participation, encouraging citizens to become informed about issues and about candidates. The process of research and reflection strengthens the relationship between the public and the government, ensuring that elected officials are indeed held accountable to the people that they serve. It's a day that reminds every citizen of their power in a democratic system, reinforcing the idea that government is, as Abraham Lincoln famously said, of the people, by the people, and for the people. In a broader sense, Election Day is a testament to the resilience of the U.S. democratic system. Despite the challenges that the country has faced throughout its history, from civil unrest to political divide, which is at an all-time high, the right to vote remains a vital part of the American identity. It's a reminder that through peaceful participation in elections, change is possible, and the collective voice of the people can shape a nation's path forward. Now, once again, I want to make sure I emphasize in no way are we trying to express leaning towards any one political view of any one candidate or any one policy. But what I can tell you is this, that as a group, as an organization, AgileDad wants to remind all of you, each and every one of you, to go out and vote. Let your voice be heard. Even if you've never voted before, it's okay. It's not scary. All you need to do is do a minimal amount of research, figure out which candidate you support, and go out and vote for that candidate. And if there's a group that you don't know, then don't vote on that particular policy. Or if you don't know any of the candidates, don't vote on that particular race. There's no rule saying it's all or nothing. I think a lot of people feel like, I don't know enough about the political process, so my vote won't count. That's not true. Every vote counts, and every vote is a powerful testimony to the democratic state that we live. So if you want to make a difference in the world, I strongly encourage you to start by making a difference in your home. Do some election research, vote for the candidate, understand the power of Election Day, and no matter what you do today, if you're in the United States, get out and vote for the candidate of your choice. And once this Election Day is over and all the dust settles, I hope that we can all come together after the race as a human race to do what's best for everyone involved and to make sure that we are working together to make America a place of peace, prosperity, and love. That's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, learn more at AgileDad.com. We encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.